Welcome to Spectacle on Television Nigeria. I am your host, Daniel Atai. President Muhammadu Buhari has ruled out completely amnesty for bandits, kidnappers, and others. What next for the governors who have been advocating for amnesty for bandits, and particularly the Islamic cleric, the popular one, Sheikh Gumi? Welcome to Spectacle. I am Daniel Atai. Without much ado about this amnesty brouhaha, let's take a short break and we will come back. I will introduce the body of the story to you and my guest analyst in the studio. Please stay tuned.
Television Nigerian is one of the leading giants in Nigeria's digital broadcasting. We deliver quality productions to clients from all sectors of life. We are experts in program streaming, event coverage, news reporting, adverts, documentaries, personality profiling, skits, and jingles. You can advertise now on Television Nigerian network platforms or sponsor programs like The Patriot, Spectacle, Business Daily, Security Dossier, and other programs. To publicize your business from ground state to the zenith, we have the capacity to introduce, promote, and publicize your businesses to increase patronage. We associate with quality to attract clients like you. Television Nigerian is your media solution. For bookings, advert placements, and further inquiries, please contact 080-3071-6959 or 070-3462-5838 or 070-5432-7616 or visit us at the Guzupi Hilltop Mansion, the Television Nigerian House, on the address showing on your screen. Television Nigerian broadcasts beyond boundaries. Television Nigerian is one of the leading giants in Nigeria's digital broadcasting. We deliver quality productions to clients from all sectors of life. We are experts in program streaming, event coverage, news reporting, adverts, documentaries, personality profiling, skits, and jingles. You can advertise now on Television Nigerian network platforms or sponsor programs like The Patriot, Spectacle, Business Daily, Security Dossier, and other programs. To publicize your business from ground state to the zenith, we have the capacity to introduce, promote, and publicize your businesses to increase patronage. We associate with quality to attract clients like you. Television Nigerian is your media solution. For bookings, advert placements, and further inquiries, please contact 080-3071-6959 or 070-3462-5838 or 070-5432-7616 or visit us at the Guzupi Hilltop Mansion, the Television Nigerian House, on the
Welcome back from that news, from that short break. The Nigerian president, Muhammadu Buhari, has ruled out amnesty for bandits, insurgents, and other forms of criminalities, directing the new service chiefs to devise means of dealing decisively with criminal elements threatening the tranquility of the nation. The president said this on the 25th February 2021 through his chief of staff, Professor Ibrahim Gambari, at the Kashim Ibrahim Government House, Kaduna, in a security meeting of the 19 northern states governors. The president also charged the governors to use their forum to discuss ways of building stronger collaboration with the security architecture and the people in defeating criminality across the region and the nation at large. Recall that barely 2 weeks ago, the popular cleric Dr. Sheikh Gumi has been in forefront calling northern governors to negotiate with bandits. Also about a week ago, the 36 state governors under the leadership of Governor Kayode Fayemi of Ekiti State resolved to negotiate with bandits where they occur. Notable governors like Bala Mohammed of Bauchi State, Matawale of Zamfara State, Lalong of Plateau State, and very recent is Governor Sani Bello of Niger State, who until the abduction of the Kagara government government secondary school student and the presence of Sheikh Gumi was defiant about negotiating with bandits. Now that the president has ruled out negotiating an amnesty for bandits, what other solutions could the governors embark on? I have in the studio some authorities that will discuss this with us. First, by my far right is Mr. AIG Austin Iwo. AIG Austin Iwo is a policing consultant. And by my immediate right is AIG Inalego Wesin. Inalego Wesin is also a consultant and security expert. Gentlemen, you're welcome to Spectacle.
Thank you for
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Now, ruling out completely negotiation and amnesty, the president has spoken to the nation and the security chiefs, including the governors. I would rather want us to proffer solutions. How would the governors go about this? What next, even about the intermediary of Sheikh Gumi? Let me start with you, AIG Austin Iwosa.
Thank you very much, and thank you for having me. Let me just correct that. My name is AIG Austin Iwa.
Iwa is Iwa. All right.
So
all right.
Let's get that clear.
All right, sir.
You know, this issue, you cannot clearly discuss this issue without looking at the antecedents.
Okay.
You know, how did we come to be where we are today? And then the negotiations that are going on, the implications of negotiation has even intensified the problem.
Yeah.
You know, and you will discover that one of the things that has brought us here is the total neglect of our communities. There are economic factors that lead to this. There are also social and political factors, but from much more fundamentally from the economic factors, you will discover that governments in this country have never concerned themselves with the rural areas.
Okay.
They have never concerned themselves with providing security. We do not have what you may call a community safety strategy for our local communities or community crime prevention for these communities. And you also recall that even though we have local governments and we have chairmen there, their responsibility has been stampeded and taken over by the governors. So what you find is that at the local area, nothing is happening. I mean, you and I have local government. We are from villages. Absolutely nothing is happening from there. And so when nothing is happening, what do you expect the young people there or the bandits or whatever to do? Is to take the laws into their hands. But with regards to this particular situation, we have bandits that come into this country. Unregulated borders is one of them, because the greater percentage of these bandits are not indigenous bandits. They are itinerant. They're people that come from different parts of West Africa and congregate in this area. And they have seen Nigeria as an easy place to do whatever they want to do. Let me just stop there and continue.
No, why not continue?
Yeah, okay. They have found Nigeria an easy environment for them. I mean, you can do a comparative analysis to what is happening in Ghana. What is happening here cannot take place in Ghana. We have seen video clips on how bandits are managed, are handled in Ghana. But here, we handle them with kid gloves. Maybe because of the integration of, I don't want to call them, I don't want to say, or integration of these bandits into our cultural and ethnic components.
Which was one of the statements of Mr. President, that we should not give it an ethno-religious coloration. He even charged the governors and the security chiefs that they should deal with them decisively and not giving it ethno-tribal or religious coloration. So
absolutely,
you are free.
Absolutely, absolutely. We shouldn't. A criminal is a criminal.
That is what he said.
No matter where that person comes from, no matter the ethnic group or religious leaning the person comes from, is a criminal and should be treated as such. Okay. You know, so that's where you see the thing is that government has failed in this area. And there are so many indicators of failure. We are now on the precipice. And when governance failed, what they do is negotiate with criminals. And what are the implications of negotiation? Once you start negotiating with bandits, you give them legitimacy. You give them authority. You give them recognition. And it goes to undermine civil authority and democratic structures of our system, and also undermine security agencies that are supposed to fight insurgents or insecurity. You undermine it. And once you are giving gusto to the bandits, negotiations is not a problem. Negotiation is not a problem. It is what comes out of the negotiation that will embolden the bandits. If the negotiation is based on a ransom, then you should know that it will continue. Especially when you are negotiating from not a strength. You don't have any strength.
From the angle of weakness.
You are negotiating from the angle of weakness. And so it becomes a vicious cycle. And that's what we are having. I mean, this morning, we also had that 300 students girls were kidnapped from
Zamfara State.
Zamfara, Jengebe. Zamfara. And here is the governor of Zamfara who was boasting that negotiation is the best.
Yes, Matawale.
Yes, Matawale. You know. And then again, one of the governors, I think the governor of Niger State, he said, some of these people are not bandits. And to me, it's like, oh,
no, is governor of Bauchi State, Bala Mohammed, and
yes,
Yuguda.
they say some of these people are not bandits. So now we are beginning to have a redefinition of what banditry is all about. When you see, it's like saying that you are dealing with armed robbers. You say some of these people are not armed robbers. It's just the condition that made them to rob. Like
Sheikh Gumi himself opined that, in fact, it's a postulation of the Islamic cleric Sheikh Gumi, that is condition that led them to that situation, and he advised governors to, negotiate and give them amnesty, just like the way they gave amnesty to the Niger.
You don't give amnesty to criminals anyway.
All right, thank you, Mr. Iwa, and I will now turn to you, AIG Nalegu Wilson, and there is a statement that Mr. President said. He said, I expect that at this meeting, your forum will also discuss and devise ways of building stronger collaboration with the security architecture and the people in defeating criminality across the region and the nation at large. Now, this is a charge to the northern governors and by extension, the Nigerian Governors Forum, because he did mention that the nation at large. What area do you think that the governors can come in dealing with insurgency, banditry, criminalities, and so on as the chief security officers of their states?
I think in your opening remark, you made allusion to that, and my Oga eloquently brought it to the fore.
All right.
And he said, let me quote him, he said, our communities have been neglected.
Yes.
And the local government structure is totally, almost non-existent. Now, Nigerians like to talk about security architecture without really knowing what they are talking about.
Yes.
Security architecture is not about the federal government having a security council. It's not about the National Security Council or the State Security Council. When you are talking about security architecture, it is from the local level. You talk of the villages, the various communities And then it flows like that. Simply put, security architecture is security arrangement that is on ground. So when people are talking about security architecture, the crimes are huge, but they start somewhere. After all, these people are in the forest, and from there they launch attack. And so the governors, it's time for them to, let me say, think outside the box. They are chief security officers. It's not all about guns and and rifles and the rest of them. It's about understanding the basics of your community. How, not even to talk of districts or villages, have this security committee that
very, very important.
So, if you are not talking about something, yes, how many local government areas are holding their local government security?
You have to be audible for the audience.
Yeah. How many local government areas
yes,
are holding security meeting? Even state governments. It's only when perhaps a big crime has occurred, they call the commissioner of police and call every person to meet. So the point is,
and they still treat it as elitist theory.
So they must begin to look at the communities, get their buy-in, get their involvement. Look at the village heads, the district heads, the balis, the obas, the dekechis, the hakimis, so that in a village setting, the headmaster, the dispenser, all these people are constituted, maybe the head of farmers, the head of vigilante or hunters. They meet. Now, you can never quantify what comes out of such meeting. Somebody can come and say, when I went to hunt, I found some people, so and so place. Another person will say the same thing. That should get passed to the local government security committee. And then it goes to the state where it is analyzed. And maybe another local government has a similar experience. The security architecture is being built. The security arrangement is in place. If you never do that, then collaborate with your commissioners of police, director DSS, and the head of security agencies within the state. Now, these people have a lot to bring on the table. How many times are you calling them? How are you calling your local government administrators or chairmen, as the case may be? What is that they are telling you? You've got to know all these things. And that
do we have those things in place now at the community level?
No, they have to reactivate. They are there. They have to reactivate them. They have to reactivate them because you've got to go back. It is like I told you. It's not about carrying rifles. That the president will support you, but you've got to come with a plan. We have found out the level of people armed within this area. We have analyzed, and we think the local police may not be able to handle it. We need air support.
Do we even have the local? Okay, you mean the ordinary local police?
The state police, the command.
Okay.
So what I'm trying to say is for the governors now to go back. What is the security situation confronting me? Where are these people coming from? Especially those at the international borders. They've got to look at this free flow. People bringing in their livestock into the country, bringing in and crossing without being regulated. And it's time for them to begin to do some level of documentation.
Immigration factor.
Yes. You begin to do some level of documentation. If you have within an area, and you say, we have lived with these headers for more than 30 years. By the time you have their documentation, if there are new entrants, the itinerant ones, you're able to isolate and advise, look, where are these ones from? Yes, there is ECOWAS protocol, but you have a maximum of 90 days, after which you have to either apply for residency or you go back to your country. The ECOWAS protocol does not say that you just move to the next country and you just come and settle there. I think there is a maximum period of 90 days.
Yeah.
So if you begin documentation, it means you are beginning to take authority. You know who is in a particular place. You look at even those, you begin to even document even the food sellers. How many people have just come? They are selling food, the price, suddenly the woman who cooks, within 1 hour she has sold, or he has sold. Who are those people? Where are they coming from?
To buy it.
Where are they domiciled? It is when you begin to aggressively seek information, acquire information, and you process it into intelligence without firing a shot, the crime in your area will begin to go down. But right now, nobody cares. Nobody is bothered about all this. And now things are happening. I tell you, it's just like a wheelbarrow.
It's like
it
has overwhelmed them now.
Yes, you have goods in the wheelbarrow. Now it's hot, you need to deliver. You just push it, you are tired, you just leave it there. And after a while, something else comes up. So what I think the governors need to do, they've got to call their security chiefs. What are their strengths? What are their weaknesses? Where can they fill those gaps? How do they leverage on their strengths to be able to deal with the situation they have? I think the situation, as serious as it is, can be handled.
Okay.
But it requires cooperation and collaboration. It is not what you do by quick fix. Because this problem started a long time. I recall when I was a DPO in Niger State in the late 90s, we were having people just coming from the bush and shooting. The traders were no longer carry money. So what happens? They now go, they do bank transfer. So what happens? You can't, if you attack vehicle, you can't get. Therefore, carry the individual, learn from something that is happening in another place. So, like my senior colleague has rightly said, negotiation. Do you even understand the leadership structure of these bandit groups? Because in the state, don't be surprised if you have more than 10, 11, 20. So when you are negotiating, whom are you really negotiating with? And has negotiation ever stopped people from stealing? If anybody who has a kleptomanic spirit, can you really dissuade the person? That is why if you have even people who have tendency to commit some crime, like pedophile, they say, look, by the time they jail them, they say, okay, don't go to that community again. So the idea is, I agree with both of you, that when you negotiate, you must negotiate from the point of strength.
From the point of strength.
That in Colombia, that was what happened. Before the government started to negotiate, the rebels were properly brought on their knees. And so it made negotiation
easier.
Yes.
All right. Well, thank you, Inalego Wason. And before we go for that short break, I would like to ask somebody who is asking you a question. Austin Iwan is saying that the bandit, the Fulani herdsmen terrorists, you know, they have category. He said, are they also classified as a bandit? But before you answer that question, I have my own normal question as to what both of you postulated initially about community policing. How do we, he has given a preamble of how it is possible. So how do we launch it now? Do we call for state policing, local government policing, and what is our strength in terms of arms and ammunition and other logistics?
Okay. The guy that asked this question, these are terrorists.
Okay.
They are terrorists, but they are classified as contingency terrorists.
Contingency
Yes,
terrorists.
we have two classes of terrorists. Okay. We have the contingency terrorists and we have the absolute terrorists. So these are contingency terrorists.
Okay.
They involve themselves in kidnapping, ransom taking, rapes, and other high-level crimes for the purpose of getting money. The absolute terrorists are after political, identification. Political. They want to establish a caliphate or something like that.
Okay.
So these people are, even though we call them bandits, right now it will be okay to classify them as terrorists because we now know their structure. We now know their leadership structure. When you don't know who is leading what, it's very difficult to classify.
Yes.
But now that we know who is the leader, we have seen them, governors have snapped pictures with them, soldiers have snapped pictures with them, we can now classify them as contingency terrorists. They are after ransom. They are not after any other thing. Then the other question you were talking about
establishing community policing.
Before we go into that, let me just latch on what he said.
Okay.
You see, governors have a responsibility
Okay.
for public safety and security in each state. Even though federal government has some level of responsibility, the bulk of the responsibility lies with governors. Now, I want to take example of what Governor El-Rufai did, and this is something that most of us have been advocating for. You don't just call yourself Chief Security Officer of the state. You have to set out structures to actualize the securitization of the state. You have to put the structures, the systems, the procedure. Now, if you go to Kaduna, what the governor did was to establish a Ministry of Security and Home Affairs. That ministry is responsible for developing strategies on how security should be maintained in the state. I think that each state governor should begin to think in that direction. You take a cue from what El-Rufai have done. And then every state is supposed to have a crime prevention strategy. As a matter of fact, the entire country is supposed to have a crime prevention and community safety strategy. These are all components of what you were asking about, community policing.
Yes.
But then again, in the context of what the governor should do now, they should use a carrot and stick approach. Up till now, we have not heard of any terrorist that has been convicted. And that emboldens them. None of these bandits has gone to jail, either for even 3 months jail. None has gone. We need to begin to apply that. While we are sending them to jail, we need to also develop the economic aspect, look at the economic aspect that will make some of them withdraw. Some withdraw. And it's a long-term process. It's not something you can do within 1 year because the level of insecurity is deep. Is deep. So you need to develop those strategies, the economic aspect, socio-economic aspect, and also the security aspect.
Okay, you will throw more light on the socio-economic aspect of crime prevention and this kind of banditry prevention or kidnapping prevention. You will give us some...
We'll talk about it.
Okay. Now, maybe before we come back again, we'll take a short break and I'll give you the ample time to discuss it with us. If you are following us, please ensure that the platform from which you are watching, you drop your comment. We'll take it here for the gentlemen, the experts in the studio to do justice with them. We'll take a short break, and when we come back, we'll continue. It is still spectacle, and we are discussing no amnesty for bandits, kidnappers, and others, as President Muhammadu has ruled out that right now. Stay tuned.
This is Television Nigerian, a broadcast network committed to serving you the very best in online and offline television programming. Situated in the serene environment of Guzape, Abuja FCT, TVN, as it is fondly called, caters to a wide variety of audience via carefully orchestrated mind-blowing programs in the areas of fashion, business, politics, entertainment, religion, movies, food and health, culture and lifestyle, events around the globe, sports and foreign news. Whatever your inclination, we've got you completely covered with programs like Issues of the Moment, The Patriot, Daybreak Nigeria, Matter Africa, TV and Business Time, Healthy Living, From the Cradle, Stay Inspired, Entertainment Gist, Movie Hour, Hits Paradise, among others. All designed to keep you thoroughly informed, entertained, at the edge of your seats and yearning for more. A tour around our domain will reveal a highly dedicated staff force and a state-of-the-art facility and equipment for high-definition quality broadcast, making our station your #1 choice in advertising your business and propagating your ideas. We are currently on NightComSat doing our test transmission for takeoff in the nearest future. Television Nigerian is located in Nigeria at Television Nigerian House, Guzape Hilltop Mansion, beside Guzape White House, Guzape Abuja FCT, and in the United Kingdom at 45 Ancient House, 48 Aerodrome Road, Beaufort Park, Colindale, London. For inquiries,
welcome back. This is still spectacle, and we are talking about the consequences, if there could be any or would be any, as President Muhammadu Buhari ruled out completely amnesty for bandits, kidnappers, and other forms of criminals that are threatening the lives and properties of Nigerians. And I have in the studio with me Austin Iwa. Austin Iwa is a policing consultant, and Inalego Wilson, AIG, both of them, is a security expert. And of course, you heard that it is interactive. We could take your text messages and whatever you have to recommend for the government as agenda setting. We'll read it before the gentleman in the studio. Before we went into that short break, you said that the bulk of the security issues and logistics at the state level lies in the hands of the governors. Ironically, most governors are also pushing the blame to the president and the federal government. What could you please elaborate on this issue?
Okay, let's look at it this way. We have the foremost security organization in Nigeria is the Nigeria Police. Who owns the Nigerian Police? Who is in control of the Nigerian Police? The Constitution has made it very clear that the police council, the police is responsible to the police council. Now, who are the people that make up the police council? The president, all the 36 governors, the chairman of the Police Service Commission, and the Inspector General of Police. What is their responsibility? Their responsibility is to manage the police, management of the police, administration of the police, and supervision of the police. Now, what other power do you need again as a governor, where the Constitution has given you the power of administration, the power of management, and the power of supervision of the police, and even the power of appointment of an IG? It is not the responsibility of the president to appoint an IG. It is his responsibility to appoint an acting IG. Governors come and confirm. They also have the power to reject.
You don't mean it?
Yes. So, but what do we see? Over the years, governors have shifted the whole idea to the state, to the federal government, and have made it impossible for the council to operate the way it's supposed to operate. Why? Because governors want state police. So it is to their advantage if the national police fails, because they will continue with the argument that we want our own police. Okay. Now at the state level, so you what? Let's take it that the police is a company. The board of directors is the police council. A board of directors cannot come out and say the company is failing, and You don't have power to do anything about it. And apart from that, in addition to that, why is it that governors are giving billions of security vote for their state? Why are they giving that? Is it pocket money?
It has turned to pocket money.
It has turned to pocket money.
And political party
they
money.
They are giving billions of naira of security votes because of the recognition
in the constitution,
in the constitutional recognition that they have the power of administration, management, and supervision.
You don't mean it.
Of the Nigerian police. So one expects that in every state, just like I told you about establishing a Ministry of Security and Home Affairs, every state should have a strategy in which all the security agencies will work from, so that they are not working in silos. Every state should have its own crime prevention strategy. You do a survey of the state, identify the typical crimes that undermine the quality of life of that state. And yes, you undermine the quality of life of that state. Engage with all the people in the state, different levels of people, and then you develop a strategy. And other security agencies will work from that strategy.
So all this blame on the president and everybody blaming the president is a misplacement of responsibility.
They are diverting people's attention, and they say we want state police. But we have state police. What we are running is a state police, in a sense. I mean, in almost every state, there are state-controlled neighborhood watch association. If you go to Kano, it's Hisba.
But are they constabulary?
No. They are talking of state police. These are security. These are people that have powers of arrest, and to some extent powers of prosecution. Hisba can arrest and prosecute. If you go to Lagos, you have neighborhood. I think they call it neighborhood association.
Would this kind of policing, would they want to go to the interior rural areas where these bandits maneuver and cause?
If they are very structured and giving clear responsibility and clear goals, and there is a clear strategy, they can do that. Almost every state has an outfit that is doing quasi-policing work. So to that extent,
sorry for taking your attention. I'm sorry. One Bola Babatunde here, he just asked, he said, then what role is Sheikh Gumi playing with the bandit? He said, what role is he playing?
Let me say that I think Sheikh Gumi started out well. I think so. But somewhere along the line, he got excited. Let me just say he got excited. And then he started making statements that brought out his perception of these bandits, of these terrorists. I mean, if you listen to some of the videos, he even tried to make it look as if it's a religious thing by saying that the people that are killing you are bandits, and then telling them that if you are going to revenge, instead you revenge on children, women, and people. What is that meaning? What is the meaning of that? The meaning is that it is good to revenge, but your revenge should be focused on the people that are attacking you. I mean, that's my own interpretation. And there are several other things. And I think that at this time, at this particular time, government should shut Gumi. Because instead of bringing peace to the situation, is putting more fire. He has become an incendiary product of this whole situation. Because I mean, you can see in all the pictures and all the videos how the bandits sit comfortably, with confidence, and you could see the mien of Gumi and the other government official looking beggarly. They went to beg. For heaven's sake, how can you beg criminals?
Anyway, thank you, Mr. Austin Iwo, security and Iwa policing consultant. Anyway, it's been nice, but I would like to take, since we have some minutes left, I would like to take your last note. I'll still come to you with one question again, then we'll call it today, because the question I want to ask is that do we have at both all the states and the FG? Do we have the ability or the capability of dealing decisively with criminalities the way Mr. President put it forth to governors and service chiefs? Also the manpower in terms of policing and everything. Do we have that ability, the number, the capability to dislodging these elements?
We certainly do. And I say it with all sense of...
We have.
We do. We have. But I think we need to structure our approach. We need to structure our approach to this menace that is staring us in the face. I think every governor needs to have a structure.
People need to hear you out.
The governors need to have structure
okay.
for dealing with these issues.
Okay, just like he
rightly said. Even the states, they have special advisor security.
But most of the advisors in security have been political.
No, I'm coming.
Okay.
Now, it is for them now to see how do we put into use, like the crime prevention he talked about.
Yes.
You've got to have a short-term plan,
okay,
a mid-term plan,
okay,
and a long-term plan.
Okay.
Now, when you have a short-term plan, what are your policing priority or crime prevention priority for this quarter? Are you meeting your targets? Are you meeting your benchmarks? But right now, might be now that the president has challenged the governors, they will now go back to look inwards, because what they are looking for in Sokoto is in their Sokoto. So what they need to do, don't politicize security. The way you approach your campaign for re-election or for election, let the same approach be given to the issue of security, because these are the people that will vote you. And that is why I am a strong advocate of strong and effective electoral system. Because if we don't hold our leaders accountable, we are going to be having all these kind of stories. If the people cannot go freely and elect us, okay, this man, we are not safe under you. We need somebody who can do better. And they don't have the chance of getting him off through the ballot, then we have a problem. So we must begin to look at a government accountable to the people.
Yeah, but let me add to you, how can government be accountable when some state governors are already justifying this kind of criminalities? You even heard the governor of Plateau State, who is the chairman of the Northern Governors Forum, saying that farmers too carry AK-47. And you heard Bala Mohammed of Bauchi State saying the same thing, that headers, they carry AK-47 to defend themselves.
Let me tell you, if you are a governor, if you are a president, if you are a member...
And they are above the law. Go ahead.
Let me tell you, if you are a government official, you work for the government of Nigeria, you work for a state government, don't have your religion, your allegiance, your tribe, your tongue, your belief is to the state. Because if you politicize security, people are going to die, people are going to get hurt, property are going to get damaged.
It has been politicized.
Yes.
So what do we...
What we need to do, therefore, I have spoken about that, that what we need to do, we must have an electoral system that is dependable, that is reliable, that those who seek for our votes,
there must be a reform.
Yes, so a reform electoral system.
The people can speak through the vote.
So if we keep you there for 4 years and our life is not safe, we should have the capacity and the ability and the power as the electorate to remove you. Not that you go share 5,000 to people on the queue and we have no way of dealing with that, We are going to have the same problem. Because if, let me tell you, my senior here was Commissioner of Police, Kaduna. I was Commissioner of Police, FCT. As a Commissioner of Police, every day I wake up, I sleep, I think of how do I keep my command, my state safe. That's what I think. I think, what method do I bring? If we challenge our leaders and make security an election issue, they are going to sit up. Because, let me tell you, there are so many things that go wrong. How many times have a governor asked members of the police council supervise their police, provide leadership, and say, Commissioner of Police, we are having too many kidnapping around this part of the city. What can we do about it? And the Commissioner of Police said, look, this is what we can do, but I need that. Okay, if we provide this, will you bring this? There should be an assessment. That is the supervision. And so if the man, there are measurable indexes that you can assess your Commissioner of Police. Not because you think he doesn't think the way you think, and you go remove him. You've got to establish benchmarks. And so you told us that in these 3 local government areas, we have kidnapped. If we provide you with this logistics, we'll provide you with this, we are going to reduce it by 50%. And how long do you need that? Your Excellency, I need 1 year. Every month, you sit on the table to 30 minutes only to assess whether they are. Why are we not meeting our benchmark? Then you see things begin to happen. And then you begin to tell your local government chairman, your other elected councillors. They now know it is not only during the election they have to travel to their villages to go and canvass. So if we don't make government accountable, people in government, people in position, we are going to have
by making security an election issue, and then reform of the electoral system to be
so that
dependent,
so that people crooks don't get their way. Go the only people that we say, this man, we trust you.
Yes.
For economy,
and can protect lives
in my state, what I need is economy.
Yes.
We're going to provide jobs.
Okay.
We're going to have agricultural value chain and all that. You do that. In this other state, our problem is security. In this other state, our problem is insurgency, the Boko Haram insurgency. In that case, if you talk of the Boko Haram, yes, you can go to the federal government, because that certainly is above the capacity of what a state government can do. But the state governors, if they sit back, they have a lot of assets, both material, human, and other materials to use. And in all we are saying,
and you people are talking from the point of well-informed background,
let me tell
as former police commissioners.
Yes, let me tell you.
If not, the governors have been adjudged from their statement and their outcries that they are helpless. But we saw Uzo Dima of Imo State of recent called the army. So please, I am being threatened. Come and assist me. Was that part of what the president was saying, that negotiating with security architecture so that you deal with criminalities in your state?
You see, everything that he has stated here,
yes,
the communities and all that, it is to provide you with raw data by way of information,
yes,
which is everything we are doing with intelligence.
Yes,
we will solve it. The security agencies have the capacity to solve it, but adequate intelligence. Even all the RPGs, the rocket propelled grenades they are carrying, GPMG, they will not be able to use them, because before they think of using them, they have been apprehended
or disarmed.
Because everything we do is sit down, discuss, penetrate the communities, and it is possible.
This is possible.
I don't see it it is not impossible at all. But the officers, I know the constituency that both of us belong. I know how determined police officers are. Yes, there are issues in every organization, but our officers, with the right welfare, with the right motivation, they can do incredible things.
All right, thank you.
Give them the opportunity.
Thank you very much, Mr. Inalego Wilson, AIG, retired. And on your last note, sir, I think you may want to give us a closing remark. He has proffered solutions, and maybe to add to it in form of solutions to the state government and local government especially, because oftentimes these guys, it is through the rural areas that they operate. This ability and capability that he said we have in dealing with insurgencies, criminalities like the bandits and other kidnappers, how are we going to quickly, I don't know whether we're in the tragic sense of it already or in our learning the hard way.
We're on the precipice.
On the precipice. Okay.
Of degenerating into a hopeless situation.
As your phone is on the precipice.
Okay.
It's about falling off.
Yes,
The precipice of becoming a failed state.
Okay.
The responsibility of government, number one, is safety and security. It's to provide security. When government cannot do that, then there are serious problems.
Okay.
You know, so we have said so much here
yes.
about what is happening and what should be done. Most importantly, governors should live up to their responsibility of providing safety and security to their citizens.
And they should use their security vote money appropriately.
What we talked here about capacity, capability. In my own perception or assessment, the security agencies have the capability in the sense of having the desire to provide safety and security. They want it.
Enthusiasm.
Yeah, because the security agencies are also victims of what is happening. I mean, every week a police officer, a military officer is killed. But they don't have the capacity. Capacity in the sense of resources. In the sense of resources that has to do with armaments, that has to do with vehicles, that has to do with modern technology, that has to do with everything that will enable that capability to be displayed.
Yeah.
They don't have it. And the governors are holding the money. Billions of naira are given to them every quarter. They should invest in the capacity of the state, of the security personnel in their state. And like I said, there should be a strategy, because you cannot achieve anything without a strategy. Whilst doing that, they can also use the carrot and stick, I said, the economic component. Strengthen the economy from the world level to the local level to the state level. Create jobs for young people. Attractive jobs, not just buying wheelbarrows and giving to people, or buying motorcycles and giving to people, and you say that is economic empowerment. No, that is not economic empowerment. Young people need to have the necessary skills and competencies, especially in this century, which is a century of IT, of skill-based. It's a skill-based century. It's not a book century. So young people have to be brought out to learn skills that will make them competitive and focus on other things. Our educational system should be reviewed. I mean, we have an educational system in Nigeria that does not provide solutions to the problems we have in this country. It is not helping the system. And so I think a lot needs to be done, but governors need to take responsibility.
Thank you very much for coming on today's spectacles. AIG Nalego Wilson, retired, former commissioner FCT, and AIG Austin Iwa, CP, retired also.
Former CP
Kaduna State, or making this topic a very interactive one. Our questions are still coming, but then I think this is where we are going to stop today on spectacle. And we believe that the guests in the studio have given it hot to the government. They have really set agenda for both the federal government and the state government to follow, even the local government and the ward level where the councillors also controls. So you go through this video, go through it again and again. If you lack what to do, the experts have dished them out for you, just free of charge, from the platform Television Nigerian. Thanks for watching, and I am Daniel Atai. Welcome to Spectacle on Television Nigeria. I am your host, Daniel Atai.